to the mayor, pertinent, specious, or personal remarks are inappropriate, and anyone who cannot follow common rules of courtesy or who becomes boisterous may be asked to leave the meeting room. If you are reading from a prepared statement, please provide a written copy and email a copy to the borough clerk's office after making your comments. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard during this first portion of public comment? Seeing no one, will close the first portion of public comment. Going on to the work session items, and the first one is the engineer's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this first one I have down is Route 202 and First Avenue intersection improvements. The mayor will recall maybe 3 years ago we had a conceptual hearing on what the improvements are going to be. Essentially, they're going to add a little lane widening along 202 by taking out the grass median and putting in a concrete barrier curb. Important to us to help relieve the traffic on the jug can. They're going into the deceleration lane, and as you approach First Avenue going westbound. To do that, they have to close off the Leland Street intersection, and they want to end that in a cul-de-sac. Our ordinance requires a minimum 50-foot radius on a cul-de-sac. That can be reduced to a 45, and we did the math on that, and a AASHTO WB40 truck turning template equals what our fire truck is, which is, I wrote the name of it, it's a C-grade aeroscope. Check with the chief, that's correct, that's what it is. 45-foot radius works. So in an effort to reduce impervious coverage, try to keep some curb lines the way they are, I suggest that we allow 45-foot radius, but as it is an ordinance, I believe the council would have to approve that change. Is that correct?
You want to amend the ordinance here?
Yeah.
Now, how much frontage of those 3 houses on the highway are going to be taken?
It's
Are they have to be taken for the
well, there's actually a shoulder area now which they're going to take out and make that paved area, so the frontage reduction is minimal. But what's important is we're taking out the entrance that would block that entrance onto Leland Street. Of course, Leland Street has access right to the other. So I'd like to get back to them with a positive that the council agrees so the project would keep moving, but then it would have to be blocked. And then the ordinance would just give relief for it.
Why, look at the wording, the ordinance, whether it's a minimum or, it's permissive or mandatory. If it's mandatory, you have to amend it, but if it's permissive, then we can work around it.
Okay.
So that's the right wording.
Will you take action for next meeting?
Sure.
Okay, I'll send them a letter saying council approval.
Is DOT addressing the situation with those houses with the owners? Or are we going to have irate people
They'll
in
still
here?
have to do acquisition of property. It's a long process, but to keep the design moving, they need this information.
I really feel badly for them. You're going to open your front door and you're going to have a highway, a lane, almost immediately in front of
Right.
you.
Okay, Orlando Drive Phase 3, I've had this on here. Next meeting, we're going to have a scoping hearing regarding the diversion we're doing on Green Acres. Taken many years ago. I'll have maps and I'll just show you the property where the park to the south of Old Knoll. We've had conversations with Bruce Farms. We expect a letter from the foundation shortly to show them the right of way to they're going to put on that park area. Right now, they're right of way, like he actually extends into a drive, extends to Thompson Street, extends into the Canal Street, the streets are actually parking like farms, so we think that Victoria Street sidewalks, this is Victoria and Southwood. We started that project on Monday, they're moving along nicely. Of course, didn't work today because of the rain, but we're very happy with that contract, as we've seen well. 2015 road repair program, Shelley met with Bobby Fulton, we're expecting that to happen shortly. Johnson Drive started. Had a big construction meeting last week. go out there, the markouts are complete, very aggressive schedule, completed by the end of the month, with paving actually on Saturday, 29th of August. So we made good progress on the concrete work, landscape restoration right away. And expect to mill on Thursday. We expect to mill on Thursday and Friday, we can maintain through traffic during the mill, but we're doing paving on Saturday. That would minimize any impact to Blackpool and also keeping contact with the rest. Thompson Street Firehouse generator, we had a little communication with the fire chief, that's exactly what we're doing. We originally designed a project, this came high, that we could rally the power feed for the generator is going to do one side of the building where the electric panel is on the other side of the building, running the cabling outside in the parking lot. To reduce costs, one of the bidders at that time suggested running on the building. However, to do that would require that the building be occupied by contractors for several days, and the fire department have to designate who would stay for the day. So that's what I was asking the chief to see if he could do. He says they'll work that out. So we're completing those plans. We should be able to do that
And I have two questions. On Johnson Drive, again, that hole in front of the manhole on Boswell Place, will we take care of that? There's like a big cone there, that hole? Okay. And the second one is with the 202. On the southbound side, they're just gonna widen the road, and the jump handle is basically going to stay the same.
Jump handle's gonna stay the same.
And they think that's gonna use
It's
traffic?
going to have some impact. We suggested at one time that they redo the entire jug handle, actually make a super jug handle by extending it, but they're not doing that. They just feel that pulling some of that traffic off to make that turn up to the jug handle, deceleration, may help.
Are they still going to eliminate the 2 lanes as you go up First Avenue?
I don't know, I don't have a plan.
And then on the northbound side, it says they're gonna do some kind of work, do we know what, is that gonna affect char or anything?
They told us, we had extensive meetings with DOT.
Oh, it's
over the years. And their philosophy is that jump handle is sufficient. And the only time that they're going to do something about it is if someone gets hurt.
Did they change the timing on the light out there? Because I noticed that coming southbound on First Avenue, I specifically noticed the other day, there seemed to be a lot more cars get through than what I normally believed, because there were very few that used to go through.
Well,
Did anyone change the
I
timing?
think they did change the timing, because trying to get my son up to a fire call, we're making almost every light that we're hitting now, even at night.
I thought
We're
it did.
But you know what backs up the traffic there
Southbound.
more than anything is when you make a right onto 202 north, if they made that lane, say from 7 to 9, only a right, you can't go straight up the hill. Because what happens in the morning is, somebody stays there, waiting to go straight to cut everybody else off, and it backs up traffic all the way.
My understanding is that when you come to cross the highway, you know, you've got those 2 lanes and the right lane is there. They were talking about putting slash marks in there and eliminating it as a lane, so that the right-hand turn would have to go right.
Well, that would make sense.
It makes sense, but that doesn't necessarily what DOT is going to
Because
do.
that's why one of the biggest, I think, when I looked at, it's ridiculous.
Stan, I got a question.
We'll see plans as they're developed.
Okay.
Right now, tonight was the issue regarding the cul-de-sac.
I got a question, and you might not have anything to do with it, but the building on the highway there that's falling apart, is there anything going on with that thing? I don't see anything different. There's no security fence around it. There's 2x4s holding up the walls. It's gotta be dangerous, if nothing else, but
It's where the Chinese
and now it's an
restaurant
eyesore.
Yes.
Yeah, there is an engineer working on a site plan. They've sent to me with some questions. There's a site plan being developed.
Aren't we as a borough required somehow to force them to put some security fencing or something around there? Because it's gotta be a dangerous
Yeah, I
situation.
think
The
you're
kids
just
get
gonna
in
get
there.
Yeah, you're gonna get a wanderer just to go in.
Is there-
Lock the litigation, that's the problem.
relay that to Lou
That's
Garrett.
what Lou's told
Well,
us.
That's going on forever
anytime you
now.
had a site like that, it had to be secure. I thought
It wasn't because there was in the back door, if you drive in the back, you can get through the back door, you go through windows.
They should be cited for the.
Those walls are being held up by 2x4s.
Right.
Well, we should speak to Lou Garrett then, because Palmer's have a very valid.
I'll relay the concerns to Lou
Just like they did
tomorrow,
on
but
Orlando
the
Drive,
good
they
news is there is a
secured
site
the
plan
site.
being
Yeah,
advanced, and it's,
Apparently, there's
Serve
something
work.
going on between the landlord and the tenants.
But Mayor, the
I know,
This
building,
property-
I
Orlando
understand.
was secured, that one
Yeah.
should have to be
And
secured.
they need to get over there and clean it up too, it's
Yeah.
not a mess.
Oh.
Well, the cleanup's probably gonna be forever, but they should at least put some chain link or something around there for,
Security.
for safety.
Can
Yeah.
we get an email or something over to Lou to get on that?
Because we talked to him, he's telling me that, it's moving along, somebody's interested, and somebody's doing this, and somebody's doing that.
Sure.
It's been falling apart for a
Well,
long time.
regardless, it still needs to be secure.
Anything else for the engineer? Okay. Thank you, Stan. Item number 2 is scheduling of August 25th meeting with the Sewage Authority representatives. Stan?
Ron Anastasio wants to meet with the council for roughly half an hour, no more. There's a new interceptor project, and it could impact Raritan and other towns in the sewage authority. I don't know all the details, but I think it's important if he's asking me to talk to him.
What time did you want to come?
He's pretty flexible, so you tell me if you wanna, do you wanna start the meeting early at 6? Did you wanna, do
Is
it
it-
at 7?
What, did he choose
tonight we're
that,
doing the scoping
did
hearing.
he choose that date, or did,
Well,
Or do
the
you
11th
suggest-
was just too
I would
compressed.
rather do it at a workshop meeting. If we could do it on the 8th, because as Stan said, we've got a hearing that night about that property.
Fine. What time then on the 8th?
6:30? 7?
That's usually executive, so.
7, we could put him as the number 1.
Okay. I'll
On the
give him
agenda.
a call.
All right, number 3 is authorization for the 2000 Dodge pickup truck to go to county auction.
Right, that's the truck that's really kaput, for want of a better word, and that's what my recommendation is. The county is gonna examine it, they may be able to use it themselves, so they have their own pickup truck if they can use our body, but that's my recommendation. I had actually sent the letter out, I had forgotten, I for some reason thought that the council had already authorized it since we bought another pickup. Does anyone have any objection to that?
No.
All right,
Yeah,
item,
I'm sorry, Mayor, we should just get a motion for that, authorizing disposition of,
Fine, anyone want to
Make a motion.
second,
Second.
of property no longer needed. for public use.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia?
Yes.
all right, item number 4 is hanging the Barcelona Parade banner.
We want to do that, last year in particular, there were different events, and
Hang it on the 1st of September.
I know John Pacifico is anxious to get it up as soon as possible. He
No,
usually is.
no. September
What
1st
is
is soon
council?
enough.
What day's the parade?
21st.
20th this year.
That's
Yeah, well, don't we,
soon.
yeah,
It's
that's,
a week
That's
sooner
soon enough.
this year.
because we usually do things 2 weeks before the event,
That's
right?
fine. September 1st is fine.
Well, maybe, yeah, but Mayor, let's think about this for a minute. Maybe we wanna hang it out there because we have the Basilone Parade, be good advertising. I mean, what am I talking about?
You
Maybe
hang
we
it
should
up
do
to-
it,
You hang it
Oh,
too
that's fine.
long, nobody sees it anymore.
Right.
is there banners that need to go up between now and then?
No.
Well, the one over the trestle,
I mean, over on Main Street.
not that I know of, that's why I brought it to the attention of the council. Somebody said, we forgot this event, or we have some other, that's, I brought it up because last year we did have a sequence.
September 1st is fine.
Okay.
We don't have any other banner up that long. All right, item number 5 is the thank you letter. You've all been copied on it from Father Kolovas concerning the removal of the weeds on Somerset Street. The guys did a really, really nice job. We've had a lot, not only his, but a lot of people have, verbally said they did a nice job, very nice job. The other thing that I put in the packet for your information is the letter from Loretta Weinberg concerning her bill. Without a copy of the bill, it's really hard to discern what's going on with it. But there's still a lot of holes, there's still a lot of gaps for Oprah and Open Public Meetings Act and the Records Act, subcommittees and all the other things.
Just to let everyone know really quickly how a bill down in Trenton operates, that you have to have a Senate bill and a legislative bill. They both have to pass. They have to go through subcommittees, then the committee, then the full-blown group, whatever the group is. It has to pass both of those, then it has to get signed by the governor. So if all those things don't happen, the bill is never gonna see the light of day. And at the end of the year, December 31st, all bills in Trenton die. They go back to zero and you gotta start all over again. I showed this bill to a couple people down there and they said, chances of it getting through anywhere and going all the way through the process are about nil. So I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's gonna die December 31st.
I noticed she emphasized the part that the bill does not require any videotaping.
Right.
Because when I called her office, they told me she received a lot of feedback on that.
It seems she highlighted the only things that she got phone calls on,
That's
but
right.
yet to address
That's
anything.
right, yes.
Yep.
All right, number 7 is the approval of a solicitor's permit for Vivint Solar Company.
Yes, everyone has a copy of the application from the representative of Vivint Solar in their packet, which, he has had a background check, and the chief of police has approved, so I need council's approval to issue the permit.
Good job.
Okay, thank
He's
you.
going door to door.
Yes.
Anybody want to move that? We need to move it? No.
Consensus is fine for that.
All right,
Yes,
that's fine.
consensus is fine.
And item number 8 is a service quotation for Route 28 and Orphan Drive Pumping Services.
Yes, we got a service quotation for the next 12 months in pumping services for Route 28. I suspect we will get it for Cardinal Woods also. The rate is changing per monthly inspection for 11 months. In addition, there's a $600 more comprehensive inspection of the facility. We've been using pumping services for decades. I think, Stan, you've generally been satisfied.
Yes.
So it's not so much the council approving it as if you don't have no disapproval for them, since we've been continuing to use them. Any questions?
All right, moving along, we have the second reading of ordinance number 2015-09, which is an ordinance of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, adding chapter 260, precious metals, gems, and secondhand goods to the code of the Borough of Raritan. Mayor, I just gave,
I'm sorry. Well, this ordinance is currently tabled, so unless if you want to leave it on the table until the next meeting, that's fine.
That's
If you do
fine.
anything, if you want to take action on it, you have to remove it from the table.
Well, I think since Council President LaBelle had the biggest objections to it last time and he's not here, that maybe we should table it and let him spout his
Just
suggestions.
leave the table.
So I would table it in fairness.
continue to table.
I believe he also wanted the business owners here as well.
Yes.
So I think he wanted to grab it, and I was gonna ask to keep it on the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
All right, so it will be continued until the August 26th meeting. All right, we have one resolution. And that is resolution 2015-08-97, a resolution of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of a stipulation of settlement with Raritan Shopping Center. Mayor, can we,
Have a discussion on this prior to bringing this to a vote?
well, I need a motion and a second before we can discuss it.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Sebelius, Mr. Giraldi, second by Mr. Philip. Now, we can discuss it.
Are you? How do I word this? This was a suit. I've seen here that this is us basically agreeing to a settlement. However, the mayor brought up a very valid point when we were talking about this before. There are very serious concerns going on down where they're looking to do tax relief, like big holes in the sidewalk and stuff.
Property maintenance issues, serious property maintenance
Like-
issues.
Okay.
Can we postpone this until those repairs are made? Because they're looking for a large, I mean, this is a large,
Well, I'd rather talk to you about this in executive than if you have concerns about,
okay,
right?
All right, so we won't mention any specifics, but
okay.
Well, I can't really I can't properly explain to you why we're recommending this settlement unless.
When did we discuss this last?
we didn't,
Yeah.
Okay, because I just
we never have.
Right.
kind of seemed out of the loop.
Are we allowed to go back into executive
Yes, sure.
to discuss this?
Yes.
Because I'd like to.
We'll do it
when
at the
we're
end,
done.
we'll do it at
Thank
the
you.
end of the public meeting. Okay. All right, moving right along here. We have. Okay, motion that has been put on the table from the Homeschool Association at CEN School for a Monte Carlo night on October the 17th from 6 to 11 p.m. And we've got an application from them.
It's a social affair.
It's a social affair.
It's a one-day liquor license.
We've done this before. They've done this before, yes. You make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Motion made by Mr. Sebelia, second by Mrs. Karen. Roll call.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia?
Yes.
It's a nice affair for you, every township. We have two purchase orders, both of them are from the fire department. The first one is in the amount of $23,384.84 for turnout gear for firefighters from Skylands Area Fire Equipment. Motion made by Mrs. Carroll, second by Mrs. Garrett. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia?
Yes.
And your certification of funds is also attached to that. The second one, again, is from the fire department. It's for vehicle extrication awareness operations and technician in the amount of $2,500, and the certification of funds is attached to that also.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Mr. Sebelia, second by Mrs. Kara. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Kara?
Yes.
Councilman Fooey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara?
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi?
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia?
Yes.
Any correspondence? I just had one thing to do, okay?
I've got a complaint from, someone that, the community room downstairs isn't being cleaned properly. Do they wax the floors like so many times a year?
A few times a year, but what in particular?
Just not clean, the floors, dirt. Also the stairwell going out to the police army, it's very.
Yeah, but I'll bring that to the custodians.
Yeah, it's one
Yes.
of these. I do have a couple of letters. One is from the Somerset County Department of Human Services. The 2015 annual grant for the freeholders in the amount of $5,000, and it's awarded to the Bridgewater Raritan Municipal Youth Services Commission, so we sort of share it with Bridgewater. One is the Newcomers Club. It's designed to alleviate some of the difficulties associated with transferring into a new school district, and $4,500 of the money went to that. And Girls on the Run, which I think is the girls.
That's great.
$500 has gone to Girls on the Run. And a competitive grant, with a total funds available, $10,000, has gone to Big Top Bridgewater. The program will develop the opportunity for participants to train in the field of circus arts in a non-competitive and least restricted environment. And it's $2,500. Good things for our kids. And other communication is from the Department of Transportation, and I'm going to give this over to Ms. Blake, Transit Villages, Safe Streets, Transit Facilities. We come to the second portion of public comment. Anyone wishing to be heard? I'd say no one will close the second portion of public comment. Do I have a motion to go into our second executive session?
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Garrett, second by Mrs. Sebelia. I would ask the please to move this resolution.
Councilman Giraldi, second by Councilman Frode.
All right, so now we do a roll call.
Councilwoman Karen,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gara.
Yes.
Councilman Giraldi.
Yes.
Councilman Sevillian.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Giraldi, seconded by Mr. Julian. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Got a load 5